and they're looking, this trio, to lead Rhode Island back to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1996.
Last time Rhode Island had 3 transfers out of the A-10, they won the tournament title under Coach Tammy Reese, the Virginia standout, back in her playing days. And now the 3rd ever matchup, the Pack and the Rams off and running. Wes Moore noted Wednesday, best first half of ball movement he'd seen all year, but the second half, a lot of one-on-one, not great offense. So Khamil Pierre, a walking double-double, good started early.
That's a great start for Khamil Pierre. His last game against Coastal, still trying to put those pieces together, but now she's looking like the Khamil we saw at Tennessee.
Those 3 transfers excellent. And Albina Silla, a fantastic power forward at 6'4", a lot of size against Trieger down low. Rhode Island has dominated 4 of their first 5 opponents. A tough 5-point loss to Rutgers, the one blemish. This is Embu going inside, drawing contact.
Good challenge by Trieger.
This Pack starting 5 with Zam Jones orchestrating the energy. NC State needed more of that after dominating Coastal early, but the game got tight in the 4th quarter on Wednesday. Here's Jones, an early 3, and a red-hot start for the Pack.
Zam Jones is somebody that Coach Moore really wants to be an emotional leader for this team. So for her to make that first shot, it's going to be a great start for the Pack.
Here's Palmire Embu, the French product, one of 6 international standouts for Rhode Island. Vital in a good battle with Jones here. Inez DeBras on the crossover. That's a tough look with 2, and a nice start for Rhode Island.
That's good for her to get that paint touch, because once she starts working her way out, she can also knock out that 3-point shot.
2-time team captain DeBras in the top 5 in assists in Rhode Island history, but she can also score it. Devin Quigley earns her first career start for the Pack, off on the triple. Caden Samuels, the UConn transfer, comes off the bench today. Look at the speed of Vital. Nice kick out. Gray for 3. And Rhode Island's up for the challenge here in Raleigh.
And Gray, as we talked about, she won a WNIT championship with St. Louis. She's transferred in conference, ready to lead Rhode Island to a title.
Gray came into this game struggling from 3. That's a really good sign for Rhode Island. And Zoe Brooks, when she gets cooking, Kai, there's no stopping Brooks.
And I like how she's starting to work her way out. We've known the last few games of her play, she's just been focusing on getting to the rack.
Brooks is the alpha after last year being a complimentary piece to Isaiah James and Sanaya Rivers for this talented Wolfpack club. Ball inside to Silla. Good spin move and challenges Trieger in the paint.
Silla is somebody that's got the height to match up with Trieger from Finland versus Sweden. International matchup today.
Silla played for the Finland national team this summer, qualifying for the Olympics. Provides a lot of size. A lot of times in mid-majors, it's tough to match that physicality as Pierre goes right back to work.
And that's one of the things Coach Moore said he wanted to focus on in our coach's call. The lack of shooting efficiency, but you're seeing that they're getting a lot more efficient today.
3 different players on the board for the Pack here early. Brooklyn Gray, they call her Mini LeBron, can play all over the court. And there she is, hitting the jumper.
Rhode Island came to play today. They are shooting well. They are attacking NC State. They are not afraid of this top 20 team.
Pierre on this end, all but 1 game with a double-double. She's been a walking rebounding machine. Good kick out Trieger, extra pass to Jones. And if you're the Pack, how about this ball movement early?
The ball movement is looking great. Khamil Pierre saw that someone was coming through the help side, passed it out to the open person, and Tilda made the extra pass for Zam Jones to knock it down.
Wes Moore challenges unit to be more ball movement oriented. They've shown it through 4 minutes. Nice offensive rebound and another chance down low.
Silla has a great, she's a right-handed shooter, but she's got a great lefty scoop. You see her in the post all the time, knocking it down.
Zoe Brooks dribbling and wiggling, couldn't finish inside. DeBras just keeps going and earns a foul.
I love how Zam Jones is completely just shooting through the slump. The last couple of games she hasn't been as efficient as she wants to, but just the focus that she's had this game, and you see going up here and challenging Tilda Trigger, as Derek said, being able to compete there in the paint.
18 offensive rebounds for Albina too. When she gets inside and creates those second chances, Rhode Island's dangerous. And it all runs through the talented freshman Vanessa Harris. Here's Vanessa testing Trieger and a wedgie. Who's going to go up and get it?
I don't know. I think Derek's got it.
Kyle, you won an ACC title. You got some hops, right?
Yeah, I got to stretch a little bit first.
Who's got the broom? Oh, Pierre's got it. No, she's got some leaping ability.
Got some ups. Kai, we were talking. You're ready to dunk, so you get up there and you prove yourself. Yeah.
I got my heels on today.
In my previous life, I could have touched that. Former indoor volleyball player, but lost that at a young age.
I had to go back probably 3-4 previous lives for me to get that one.
Entertaining first quarter. A lot of offense here in Raleigh. The clock does reset, so Harris backs down Brooks. Gray 1v1. Tight defense from the pack. Gray hustling for it. And Zam Jones comes out with it. Quigley the shot fake. Nice dish. Pierre couldn't hang on. But everyone touched it, including Traeger's three that's off. And right now, Rhode Island's hung in there defensively.
They are. They're forcing NC State to take those perimeter shots, not letting him get in deep. Which is part of the game plan today.
Silla is doubled. That's a nice fadeaway. Short from the Finland native. This game has March Madness tight field clicking on all cylinders. Rhode Island, an NIT in 3 of the last 4 years. And the Pack fresh off a Sweet 16 run. Here's a foul on Albina, her first.
And Coach Reese has talked about how much she wants to get this team to the NCAA tournament, and she has looked really good in the first 5 minutes.
We'll take this early timeout. 1-point game in Raleigh. Rhode Island up for the challenge. How about that?
That felt like a frantic pace. I was like, damn. I'm
Everybody thought Florida State was going to fire their football coach. They just announced he's coming back. Really? You can mention that coming back. Yeah. North State Bank is proud to present the 2025-26 NC State Women's Basketball Season. North State Bank, a proud sponsor of NC State Athletics. Wolfpack 12, Rams 11, 4:44 to go in the first quarter. Andrew Sanders here with Ernie Myers. During the timeout, they honored the women's cross-country team here at NC State, who just yesterday won the national championship, which is impressive to say.
Welcome back to Raleigh. 1-point game here early. Very reminiscent of the last meeting 2 years ago. Rhode Island led for over 30 minutes of that game, and it took Isaiah James taking over late. But so far in this one, both teams up for the challenge.
We talked to Coach Reese about that game yesterday, and she said she felt maybe NC State wasn't ready for them 2 years ago and turned it on at the very end with James and Rivers. But today, I feel like both teams know how good this matchup could be, and they've both brought their A game so far.
And she also mentioned that last year was kind of a building year for them. She went into the portal, got some more people that can run offense and isolate those opportunities.
And 7 early scores for these two programs. A lot of balance as Khamil Pierre misses the bunny. Rhode Island pushing tempo with the bench. Liliana Foncha comes in. And a quick foul drawn. That's DeBras on the drive. My apologies.
Pierre is being much more aggressive. The last 2 games, she's only scored 9 points and 8 points, where she was getting double-doubles early in the season. I think Coach Morris challenged her to just be more aggressive.
Pierre tied for first in the country, double-doubles in all but 1 game this year. That was Wednesday. DeBras, the savvy point guard, wiggles through traffic, but she dragged that pivot foot.
And we talked a little bit about 2 years ago. DeBras played 26 minutes in that game, and so she's got experience playing in front of this crowd, which we'll get into it as the game gets closer.
A lot of touches for Pierre in this first quarter. Khamil spins and a swat. Good recovery. Another tip. Loose scrum. Traeger comes out with it. Better defense, though, by Embo. The sophomore Palmire Embo up for the challenge as Jones creates space, and NC State, they're winning these one-on-one battles.
And with that, they're not as stagnant as they've been the last couple of games. I love how there's a lot of pass and cut, a lot of motion. So then that allowed Zam Jones to pull up for that mid-range right there.
Embu to the bucket. There's Embu getting involved offensively.
She is a very talented player, and Rhode Island likes to have that 5 out with the high post to give space for driving. There, Rhode Island was able to get all the way to the bucket.
And in that Rutgers matchup, Embu shined. She had 17, a couple of rebounds, too. She was physical in that matchup, the lone Power 4 game so far. Scylla affects the shot. Jones swings it. Everyone touching it in this first quarter. That was a huge challenge for Westmore after Wednesday's win. Clock to 7. Jones again. Great contest. Embu the rebound. And DeBras pushing tempo. The freshman Harris. There's the 3. How about Rhode Island making things happen in transition?
And bad transition defense there for State. You got to find the shooters. Harris has been hot, especially in the last couple of games. Got to know where she is.
A true freshman. Last year it was Cadence Leafa Davidson, the freshman of the year. But right now Harris is balling out in the A-10 through 6 games. Even the players ready to step in are in our knees in defensive spots. Traeger off on the triple. A big rebound, DeBras. Inez, who plays for her French national team over the summer, creates some space. Harris again. Feed the hot hand.
And right there, that's the same thing in transition. And that wasn't necessarily as fast, but you see she's the hot hand. You have to get to her and force the bounce.
The true freshman at a Bishop McNamara, great high school program. She's balling here on this Sunday afternoon.
Hey, there's some good competition up in the MD area. Shout out to my grandfather that just retired from DeNapa.
I love that connection to the DMV. Here's a steal. Ojeda runs the break. Valentina takes her time and earns a foul. And Rhode Island is really pushing it.
Vanessa Harris, as we've said right in the open, she is hot and she is looking to shoot. We talked to Coach, and she's never met a shot that she didn't like, so she is hunting that basketball. 2 big threes. Rhode Island has brought their A game, and they are challenging the pack.
What does it say? Even the bench players ready to check in are on their feet. Like, there's an invested energy from Rhode Island today.
Well, Coach Reese said in that Rutgers game that they just didn't seem to bring it. They just weren't ready for the moment, and they know how important this game is. A chance to get a signature win against a Power 4 top 20 team. They are ready, and even in that Rutgers game where they said they weren't ready, they only lost by 5. They are a very good team, and they are showing it today.
Another transfer, Valentina Ojeda out of ECU, coming by way of Richmond. And a 6-point Rhode Island lead here in the first quarter.
Kaishi Lunan has been a spark for the pack this season. We'll see if she can get a shot here.
The 4-star freshman, first bench minutes for the pack. Maddie Cox also enters out of Texas. Zam Jones, her first miss of the game. Jones has been red hot to start the contest. Sophia Vital back to Harris. Run and shoot. Air ball. Heat check. But the freshman's ready to go.
Definite heat check, but when you've already hit 2 and she's feeling it, if I'm Coach Reese, I'm not upset about that, other than she didn't quite get her balance. That was the big thing. She was sort of falling into it. But other than that, if I'm Coach Reese, I say go for it.
Rhode Island shooting at 60% in this first quarter. Everything's hitting except that one. Now Caden Samuels comes in, the UConn transfer. Her first game off the bench. Slips to Traeger. Tilda gets the rebound. Traeger again. Big move down low.
You love how strong Traeger is when she's down there in the post. She went up for the first opportunity, didn't hit, and went for the second one.
Ojeda off on the 3. Good battle. Jones on the boards. Out of bounds off Rhode Island.
And here's what I like about NC State. Rhode Island is trying to force them to take perimeter shots, but NC State needs to focus on getting it in the paint. Right there, they got it into Trieger, in deep. Even though she didn't hit the first, with our height, with the height advantage of NC State, big offensive rebound and a bucket.
And with Trieger out Wednesday, how does that change things with her back today?
I think Tilda in some cases can be the glue of this team. Zoe's the heartbeat, Zam's that electric energy, but Tilda, they need a presence in the inside to help control those boards. Pierre can't do it all by herself.
Final minute of this first frame. Zam Jones has been the executor offensively. 2 more for Jones in double figures.
She's been very aggressive today, and I think she knows that she needs her scoring in order to get a win today for the Pack.
A balanced Rhode Island team. 6 different players on the board. The Rams' best start in the Tammy Reese era. Gray kicks it. Embu is blocked. Embu spins late in the clock. And Trieger, the tallest in the trees, on the rebound.
Her height is that defensive rebound is where Trieger is so valuable.
Lunan swings it. Look at Jones taking over. Wants the basketball late. And Westmore leaving it in her hands. 6 seconds. Jones 1v1. Beats Vital down low. Misses. Tip drill. Time for Trieger. Bounces out. Entertaining first 10 minutes.
High-paced action. Very good. 2 talented teams.
And one heck of a coach here in this first quarter. Rhode Island is ready to roll. Caden Samuels' first shot rattles out. Rhode Island pushing tempo with Inez DeBraz. Back inside. And look at the activity defensively. Lunan the steal, and then a jump ball. Possession stays here.
Coach Moore talked about effort and toughness, that this team needs to show grit. A play like that, 2 players getting on the floor, getting the steal, even though it goes to jump ball, that's the kind of effort he's looking for.
Our production staff reminded us, Coach Moore said he needed old chihuahuas. Can you translate Coach Moore for us?
Play harder, essentially. Play harder.
He needs those chihuahuas that yip at you when you're walking down the street.
Yeah.
Anywhere near the gate.
I'm still working on my Coach Moore impression, though, so I'll get back to you on that.
We'll save that for Comedy Central after the break. Early seconds of the second quarter. Brooklyn Gray just beats the defense but misses the layup. This is Kaishi Lunan. Great minutes off the bench this year. Misses the jumper. And Trieger already 5 early rebounds. But then throws it away. And you heard the shriek from Tilda.
And that's one of those things where it was just a miscommunication. You know, you start to cut back door, but then you don't. You pop back out and you cut again. It's almost like, what are you going to do? So I've had some of those type of turnovers in my day. And once you start getting further into the season, that chemistry will start to add up.
Back in Embu's hands. Rhode Island has avoided turnovers on this end of the court. And then Embu on cue to travel.
Rhode Island, it's interesting with their lineup. They've got Vital and DeBraz in there, 2 point guards. I think they want to make sure that they do limit turnovers, especially the live ball ones. Coach Reese was really worried about NCSU's transition game.
And how about this first quarter for Zam Jones? 10 points. She's been the playmaker all game long. With Brooks more passive in this first half, Jones has been the active player. Good defense here. Tempo for Vital. Sophia kicks it. Embu the shot fake. Both these teams recovering well defensively, too. Now in Silla's hands. Challenges Trieger, a little international crime battle. Vital kicks it. The Wolfpack defense very good. The crowd responding. 4 seconds. Vital off on the 3 and cocks the board. Two minutes in, the intensity picking up in this second quarter. And a foul on Albina. That's her second.
Great job by NC State's defense on that last possession, forcing a late shot clock opportunity, and Vital has only hit 2 threes all game, so that's a shot they want to give up.
And I love how all the guards, even the 4 player, are switching on that perimeter. They had some challenges in the previous games guarding that pick on ball.
Now with Silla in foul trouble, can Trieger expose that? Clock inside of 10. Jones on the pick. She fires. Better defense. Samuels flying in. That's an over and back on Caden Samuels. But a foul you live with if you're NC State.
It's great for her to attack the offensive boards. In that situation, she definitely looked athletic in that. But with it being that she reached over her back and causes disruption of the opposing team, then that's when you get that foul called.
And that's one of the things that we watched on this matchup. The one thing Rhode Island is missing is more of that height. NC State has got to attack the offensive glass. So as you mentioned, Coach Moore would be okay with that foul because they're being aggressive.
First minutes for grad transfer Taviana Habib, the George Mason transfer who won a league title last year in the A-10. Richmond was the great story in college basketball. Second round run in the A-10, but there's depth in this league. Most of it's now on Rhode Island as Gray uncorks the three. Habib on the glass. Samuels wrestles. NC State basketball, and Caden Samuels bringing more physicality off the bench today.
She is coming off the bench, as you mentioned. Probably a challenge to her today is to be more aggressive. And if her shot's not falling, she struggled from three this year. Bring it on defense, bring it on rebounding, and then the points will start to flow.
The first 8 minutes where nobody could miss. Last 5 minutes of game time, neither team has scored. Cox goes inside, Cello the pick, and Maddie falls to the floor.
One of those turnovers NC State can't have. You've got to treasure the basketball.
And that wasn't a bad idea. She just needed to float it up a little higher. Tilda has that height on her. Get it up so she can just put it right into the bucket.
Vanessa Harris with the miss. She was explosive in the first quarter. And right now the Pack struggling to hang on to the basketball. Running through this talented freshman, Kaishi Lunan at a Goodyear, Arizona. Lunan spins. Samuels jumper. These are difficult looks for the Wolfpack.
And that's the thing. Coach Moore's trying to find the balance between staying aggressive or looking for your best shot.
DeBraz goes inside, wanted the foul. And now Lunan pushing tempo. Brooks back in the game. Maddie Cox fresh off a double-figure effort Wednesday. Her best game in a Wolfpack uniform earns a foul. That's on Gray.
We talked about these are some very difficult shots for NC State. They're not setting themselves up. Getting the ball movement they had in the first 5 minutes is what they're going to need.
So tomorrow night, the ACC Network's got a great women's basketball matchup. Hannah Hidalgo and top 25 Notre Dame will host, or pardon me, Louisville and Pitt on the volleyball side. That's a top 10 matchup Wednesday night. And on the women's side, Monday night at 9 o'clock, 24 Notre Dame hosts Central Michigan at 9 Eastern. Notre Dame, huge win over my Trojans earlier this week. I love home and home matchups of elite programs.
And that's something that we get a lot in women's basketball. To see, you've seen NC State play a lot of ranked teams. It's very good for the sport to really get some exposure right here at the beginning of the season.
3 ranked matchups for the Wolfpack early. And Wes Moore noted we played really well in those games. We have to be consistent against all levels.
And then he also mentioned, you know, when you're not shooting the ball well and then there's a lack of effort, it's hard to coach that because you're already in your head about knocking down shots. But you can see whatever he said to this team today, that really paid off.
Those free throws were the first point of the quarter for either team. As Embu operates the point, finds DeBraz. The size of the Wolfpack playing a factor here. Clock inside of 10. Embu back to DeBraz. Wide open three. Inez hits one.
In that situation, you know that the shot clock is counting down. Maddie Cox should have came up to give a little bit of a bigger hand on that closeout.
DeBraz hit 5 threes on Thursday. There's her first today. Good vision from Pierre. Kaishi Lunan on the board. And for Lunan, that's her 5th three as a Pack player.
And the more we see her play, the more she looks a lot like Isaiah James. She's got that sweet left-handed three and the ability to drive.
And the headband.
She's going to be so good for the Pack over the next 4 years.
James, the 1,000-point scorer for NC State, has graduated. Lunan's turn as the 4-star freshman. Embu, that's an old-school move.
That is a talented, tough play right there. Khamil Pierre, the transfer out of Vanderbilt, can play very good defense, but just better offense right there.
When Tammy Reese watched Embu play, she said, she's a walking bucket. I need her on my team. Here's a turnover for the Wolfpack. Got her in the transfer portal, and Embu's been huge coming in as a sophomore.
And she had to overcome some injuries, too. So with her overcoming those injuries and coming and making a statement and playing as well as she's playing right now as against this NC State team.
Five-out offense here for Rhode Island, trying to spread it, give some driving lanes.
Harris sets the pick for Ojeda. Valentina, catch, shoot, just rattles out. Lunan with good speed, finding Samuels. Lunan, all gas. Offensive foul. The elbow of Kaishi Lunan sends us to break. What a start here for Rhode Island.
Tough call right there, but for Rhode Island, they are playing so well. You've got the kick out here for the 3 from DeBraz. Then NC State is bringing in as well. Lunan with a big 3, but going into break, Rhode Island still's got that 2-point lead.
Back here at the Lenovo broadcast table, Lenovo, a global technology solutions company that's called NC home for 2 decades, is proud to support the community in the NC State Wolfpack. Lenovo, smarter technology for all. Visit us at Lenovo.com. Boy, new coming in, Rhode Island, one of the better teams NC State has played thus far. Now, you played 3 ranked teams, and Rhode Island is not ranked. Outside of those 3, I think it'd be fair to say Rhode Island is the toughest unranked team, the non-ranked team that NC State has played thus far. They've looked like it. They have led for...
Welcome back to Raleigh here at Reynolds Coliseum. Wolfpack fresh off a win Wednesday, but here in the first 5 minutes of the second quarter, offense has been hard to come by. First quarter, both teams clicking, and what's changed here in this second?
I think the defensive intensity has really stepped up on both sides. In the first quarter, I don't know if the Wolfpack or the Rams were expecting them to be so hot, but now it's a battle. Everybody knows it's going to be a big-time game, and so it's going to be a lot harder for points to come by.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. The rotation that Coach Moore has put in this game has been a little bit different, so it might not be necessarily all the defensive aspect. It has turned up, but some people may not have played it with each other as much for this NC State team.
This is a 5-guard of death defensive lineup. A lot of size for the Pack. Gray goes inside. Good kick out to Braz. The rotations are good, too. Freshman Harris goes inside, and that's offensive. So this defensive lineup making a difference.
Excellent job by NC State's defense right there. They closed out. They forced the drive, stepped up for the charge.
I just love how electric Lunan has been. She's been making plays on the offensive end, dishing, facilitating, knocking down threes. And to be a freshman and to step in on a play like this, that's a game changer.
Coach Moore's been looking for an emotional leader. Even as a freshman, she's starting to fill that role.
Zoe Brooks on this end, feeding off the good defense. Tough drive for Brooks. Quigley wide open 3 that rattles out, and a big board for Embu.
That's been a hole for NC State this season. They need that spot-up shooter. If you get an open one, you got to knock it down. And
look at Harris sizing up Lunan, and the freshman Vanessa Harris to the line. No fear in this true freshman out of Maryland.
You have to imagine that they've matched up in an AAU event somewhere because they're both so talented, true freshmen. But you see Vanessa Harris's strength right there, even through contact, almost got the N1.
Harris is still 17 years old. Think of that. The accomplishments for Harris. Played from the same program as Leatu King at Pittsburgh, who's been excellent now at Notre Dame. So much talent in that part of the country. And Harris is the highest scorer for Rhode Island this year.
NC State's Caden Samuels also played there, but Harris came in. We talked to Coach that she sort of deferred to her teammates in high school a little bit, and all of a sudden she's got to be the go-to player, but she's relished that role. Excited to be at Rhode Island.
Rhode Island 1 of 4 from the free throw line, but an offensive rebound. DeBraz earns another foul. And typically when the Power 4 plays the mid-major, it's the foul trouble of the smaller school. It's the Pac accumulating fouls.
I think it's just them not locking in defensively. You saw in the second quarter, or the beginning of the second quarter, that they started getting more offensive rebounds on Rhode Island. And right here, it's a lot of just standing around. Rhode Island is out-hustling NC State right now on this side of the floor.
You don't say that every day about a Westmore coach program. Final Four 2 years ago, a Sweet 16 last year. And Inez DeBraz, who played in that game 2 years ago, to the free throw line.
It was interesting talking to Coach Reese yesterday. She said that NC State hasn't quite found that motor, that high energy that she's used to seeing out of a Westmore team. And I think Westmore knows it as well. He's trying to light a fire under this team so they play with the intensity they've done the last 3, 4, 5 years.
Westmore called it a balancing act. When to push, when to pull. How do you find that as a player? Where do you get that motor from?
Well, it has to start off with someone on the court. I mean, the inconsistency of, who's scoring, who the leader, that doesn't matter. Someone needs to step up, be that emotional leader, as you mentioned. And like Caden Samuels right here, knocking it down. Now go back on defense, get a stop, and turn your defense into offense.
Balanced scoring, the story of the Wolfpack today. More activity defensively has certainly changed this second quarter. Vital directing traffic. Embu, good post position, and Pierre jumps in front. Clock to 4. Kick out. Harris swings it. Gray, 1 second. Gray lost track. Violation.
Just a little too unselfish there for the Rams. I thought Harris had an open look for 3, gave it up to Gray. I thought Gray had the open look.
And you see Tammy Reese, the All-American at Virginia, saying, hey, shoot it, let it go.
Her players are too talented. Just take the shot that's available.
Tammy Reese, second in career wins at Rhode Island, knows how to do it from the bench. Brooks on this end. A dribbling maestro. Pretty good passer, too. Yeah, Brooks just 2 points in this half. Pierre off on the jumper. Tip drill. Now Vital. Harris kicks it. Embu. Peekaboo. Rebound. Gray inside. That's no good. Tip drill to Samuels. A lot of banging bodies in the post.
Two very physical teams.
Outlet. Samuels fouled.
And that was great court vision there by Zam Jones. You saw everyone was looking ahead on Rhode Island and at where the ball was. You still have to pay attention where the ball is, get that strong side, but then Cadence went down there on the opposite block, the opposite wing, and got the nice open spot, got to the open spot for Zam to feed it in.
Zam had 8 assists in the last game against Coastal, and really, when you're struggling with your offense, sometimes you drive, you kick, you get those assists, and it's led to both her assists and her points tonight.
Zam Jones noted in the offseason, I have to be the motor for this year's team, right? 3 senior captains, graduated from a prolific back-to-back tournament runs. We've seen this first half, not just the scoring, but the vision as well.
Well, Zam had 18 points in the opener against Tennessee and really was the leader in the last 3 minutes, and then sort of just seemed to fade in the background for 2 or 3 games. But she has definitely stepped up against Coastal and now Rhode Island today.
First Wolfpack lead since the opening quarter. And now we hit the 2-minute mark of the half. A lot of pressure on Vital. Three minutes without a bucket for the Rams. So DeBraz 1v1. Off the pick. Ojeda outside. Clock to 5. Embu challenges Trieger. Embu, nice bucket.
That's twice she's made that turn over her left shoulder to get the scoop shot. It's very difficult to defend, seeing how talented she is.
Brooks falls to the floor. Samuels rescue pass. Vital the steal. Ojeda running with her. Wisely pulls it up. DeBraz, great speed, kicks it. Embu again wins the matchup. Embu tiptoes through it. How about the anticipation to expect that?
She saw Trigger coming over trying to block the shot, so she shifted to the left hand. Great finish.
And held that pivot foot for just enough time to get the layup. Jones again. No good. DeBraz on the rebound. Harris. Physical. Loose scrum. Pierre. Outlet. Jones runs ahead. Zam Jones, 12 points and counting.
And I love the rebound efforts by Pierre. Her being a floor player and being able to dribble up the court and make that outlet pass to Zam Jones is great.
And one thing I love was able to get the quick shot for a 2-for-1. NC State should get one more possession after this.
Vital in attack mode. Gets the switch. Embu the fake. Clock ticking 4. DeBraz late. Off on the 3. Embu rebound. Time 4 seconds. Embu hits it. Zam Jones with a moment. Lets it go. And Rhode Island 6 clutch points late to lead at halftime.
Rhode Island has been ready. Embu has been the star of the game, putting in the last couple of buckets for Rhode Island.
First possession for the Rams. Albina Silla, who had foul trouble in the first half, back on the floor. Vital earns it and one with some muscle down low.
She is an excellent driver, taking it to NC State, being aggressive. That's really been the story of the game for Rhode Island. Coming off a little ball screen handoff. NC State gets caught up. Zoe Brooks with the foul. And it was interesting when Silla went out with foul trouble. Rhode Island got sort of more strong, more powerful. Now she's back in. They're back to that handoff game, but you're still going to see Rhode Island try and be aggressive and strong.
The Cambridge, Massachusetts product. She's a gamer as a freshman, not afraid of this moment. And I love when two undersized guards like Jones and Vital go back and forth. Couple of sub 5'8" guards being aggressive. Now it's the bigs in the paint. Embu versus Trigger. More of that 6-foot fight. Pierre somehow got the rebound, and Silla with her third foul.
NC State, I think you're going to see a focus on them getting it inside right there. Very first possession, get Trigger post up, get in there, force Rhode Island to defend. Right now, though, it just feels like the energy is on Rhode Island's side right now. I think NC State looks passive right now. They've got to get a little bit more spark before Rhode Island leads by 6. You've got to get back in this game.
Rhode Island is going to switch out size for experience. In comes Brooklyn Gray. And then Trigger's fouled. She's been a mismatch nightmare. Gray commits her second.
And you like how Trigger puts herself in a good position. Even if it wasn't a foul, it would have been a good spot to be able to do a little baby hook under the basket.
Trigger on the Lisa Leslie watch list for best centers in college hoops. She's been a mismatch nightmare today. Brooks penetrates, gets by everybody for an easy one.
That's where we talk. Zoe Brooks was sort of got lost in the first half. She's got to be aggressive. She is one of the best players on NC State's team. She's got to go to the basket and get points. NC State struggled against USC. She stepped up with 24. Need a similar effort today.
A lot of ball movement for Rhode Island out of this timeout. And a steal for Brooks. Zoe with numbers, has Pierre. Brooks, no look. Pierre's there.
That's a great pass there by Zoe Brooks. She definitely could have took it in one-on-one, but it was an even better shot. She drove the defender up closer to her, and Pierre running hard there for the lay.
Sports Center top 10 nominee.
When Brooks is at her best, it's not just her scoring, it's her passing that steps up.
She's the heart of this team, and she needs to lead it in all aspects, and you see it in those last 2 plays.
2-point game early in this third quarter. Harris inside. And Vanessa Harris not afraid again. Another jumper.
Vanessa Harris has done a phenomenal job being a freshman, you know, stepping into this. This is a big floor to play on, a big platform, and she hasn't been scared of those lights.
The Pack have all the size advantages, but they're struggling to score down low. Quigley's pressured. Jones with 8. Look at Sam Jones navigate. That's fun to watch.
And it's cool to see her, how she trains the way she's played. She was knocking down three-pointers in the first half, then the mid-range, and now she's showing a different layer of her game and going to the basket.
A lot of back picks, a lot of movement. Harris has it with 10. M'Bu challenges Trieger. Pierre wrestles in for the steal.
Great help defense there by Pierre.
Almost an over and back.
I think she got away with that one. Wasn't seen.
Jones, electric. No look again. The Packer dish and dimes.
And Jones, the energy that she has gone over this NC State team, then Zoe Brooks, they're like yin and yang. Being able to feed off of each other. Then you have the front court of Pierre. It's a great job to see NC State attacking this basket right here.
Puts her head down. Yeah, amazed. Puts her head down. No pass. Yeah, amazed. Puts her head down. No pass. Yeah, amazed. Rhode Island. For a layup. NC State congratulate Joey and all the other NC State scholars.
Welcome back to Raleigh. Tie game here early in the third, and the NC State passing has stepped up in the second half.
When this half started, I almost challenged NC State for the energy, and they stepped up in a big way. Zoe with a steal and a dish. Zam with a steal and a dish. It was really impressive. And then give credit to Pierre, being ready, finishing. NC State, that 6-point lead for Rhode Island evaporated very quickly.
NC State matching its first half assist total in the first 3 minutes of this third quarter. And yet, it's still a tie game. Rhode Island has been game so far. Brooklyn Gray has it against Pierre. Pierre active with her hands and a late foul. Second on Khamil Pierre.
And you see she laughs. I mean, I love the toughness between Gray and Pierre. On the first one, it was like, okay, gotcha. On the second one, you can tell she did get her a little bit. You see she's got that hot stove. She gets a touch of the ball. Then she reached just a little too far across. She got that body-to-body contact.
Dora the Explorer would have sniffed that out, said, hey, swiper, no swiping. It's actually the Pack who are more in foul trouble than Rhode Island early in the third quarter. Vital operating traffic with 10. Gets a nice screen from M'Bu. Vital just keeps going and blows by Brooks.
Had that hesitation dribble, lulled Brooks to sleep, and a great scoop finish even at 5'3".
Wait. Zoe Brooks is the queen of slowing people in hesitations. How does she get juked out by her own move?
That's a very good question. She should have been ready for that one because that's one of Vital's signature moves.
Two guards going back and forth with points in the second half. Now inside Pierre. Great challenging. Nice strip. Trieger open three. Rattles in for NC State.
I love how Khamil Pierre stayed with that ball. She could have went up for the shot, got it knocked out. She looked for her open teammate until the trigger was there on the three-point line ready to knock it down.
First Wolfpack lead of the second half. Vital just does it again, the same move.
That 5-out offense for Rhode Island has really spread it out. NC State has got to cut off these drivers.
Wes Moore, he wants an adjustment from his defense. The second winningest coach active in women's basketball, testing his unit right now. Pierre on the rebound, puts that back in.
I love how Zam Jones did test the defense on that drive there. She could have got the rebound, but Pierre is such a presence on the board, she was able to put it back in for her.
8 different scorers for Rhode Island, so much balance. Vital swings it. DeBras back in the game, one of the senior captains. And this 5-out offense has been explosive with Vital. Third time behind the back. Traeger to the floor. Vital with 2, flips it home.
Everybody eats for this Rhode Island roster, and Vital has been the signature person for the second half of this third quarter.
The freshman.
Her being able to be so shifty and get through, what'd you say, 5'3"? That's just amazing.
Now a steal. DeBras takes it. The Rams off and running. 2 more.
Back and forth we go here. NC State had the momentum, and all of a sudden Vital took over right there. A steal. DeBras with the finish as well.
This Ram program ready for postseason basketball. They're rolling here in Raleigh. Zoe Brooks behind the back. She is immediately shielded off. Tip drill. Who can settle things down for the pack? Loose scrum and a steal. Up ahead, DeBras. Ojeda running the break. DeBras banging bodies, no good. How do you slow it down here for NC State?
If you're NC State, you need to just step back in the half court. Say, hey, everyone take a deep breath. Rhode Island's doing a good job of slowing them down, but you see Zoe Brooks here is able to break down that defense and take it to the bucket. But still, on the defensive end, be in the right position. Vital has done a great job of breaking it down. They just need to settle back in.
Westmore noted this week, how do I push the right buttons of going fast, playing slow, letting my great players cook? Brooks gets a critical bucket there. 1-point game.
The big answer now is defensively. NC State's got to cut off the driving lanes.
Vital test that defense. Embu drives. Nice look. How did Gray catch that? Incredible.
Embu drove hard, drove 3 defenders. I don't know how she saw. Don't know how she saw that, but quite a pass. And here we go. Gray's going to take it, finish through the contact. Big shot. Rhode Island back up by 3.
With 8 to shoot. Embu driving baseline. Tough pass. Gray lays it in plus a foul. Embu with a beautiful pass to a cutting. Gray to the basket. That will take us to the under 5 timeout. Coach Reese is very pleased with the way her team is attacking, and why not? They have gotten to the rim. NC State's made 7 of its last 8 shots and still haven't made up any ground. Down 3 at halftime, down 3 with 3:27 to go, third quarter from Learfield. Forward. Got to win this game before this team needs a Cancun trip to get things together. Thank you. I thought they might have been in zone for a second. She went. North State Bank is proud to sponsor Rebounds for Reading. For every rebound recorded during regular season home games this season, North State Bank will donate $10 worth of books to the Wolfpack Blitz Reading Program in Wake County. So far this season, the Pack totaled 140 rebounds, meaning $1,400 worth of books will be donated at the end of the season. Rhode Island 48, NC State 45. And this is very similar to the last time.
Welcome back to Raleigh. 3-point game. Rhode Island and NC State. Second quarter offense hard to come by. Third quarter, both teams are cooking on this end.
Rhode Island 7 for 9 in this quarter. NC State 7 for 8. Nobody can miss. It's such a great basketball game. That last play right there by Rhode Island, Mbu to Gray. Impressive finish. Another Sports Center top 10 nominee. And it looks like we've got a game that's going to come down to the wire.
And it seems like they're feeding off of each other energy. Second quarter, it was a little slower on offense, not as much execution on both ends of the floor. Now it's like, hey, we're going to turn it up. I'm going to turn it up too.
If there's one thing NC State I think needs, I see they got 10 turnovers. They've got to be clean, value the possession as we get down to more important possessions in the fourth quarter.
Free throws for the senior Brooklyn Gray. At St. Louis, she won a WNIT title. There's some championship experience for Gray, and she subs out early in this third quarter.
She's a senior. She started for this Rhode Island team, for that St. Louis team. Leads the team in assists as well. She's ready for this moment.
And now Wes Moore going to his bench with Kaishi Lunan, who lost the ball. Harris to the floor. Lunan needs a timeout. Jump ball, possession, Wolfpack. Just taking her off the ball for 2 seconds.
And it was a good job of the defender kind of sticking her hand in there. You know, you can't, I understand you have to look at Coach Moore in order to get the set, but you still have to at least shade your body to that side hand so that you can shield the ball from the defender.
Wes Moore asking Brooks to inbound the ball. You can sense that communication's being questioned right now.
Lunan has earned the trust of Coach Moore. As a freshman, she's done a lot of great things the last 3 or 4 games, but down 4 in the third quarter, this is going to be a real test for her. Is she going to make plays and stay confident in a tight game?
And I like how you use the word confident. Like in the TCU and the Coastal Carolina game, that's when she really started to get her feet up under her. And now in this first half, she did the same thing. So I'd love to see her continue to do that for the rest of the game.
Rhode Island makes one adjustment for size. Aimee Michel, the 6'2 freshman out of France, defensively in. Brooks short on the jumper. And Mbu has held off Pierre, the double-figure rebounding machine. Wide open, Mbu. No one covered her. Mbu, that's too easy, but a miss.
NC State catches a break right there.
Pierre runs the break. No one guarded Khamil, and she gets the layup.
And there's Lunan. Great vision. Big assist for the Pack. Cuts it to 2.
That's a 4-point swing in a game that's been tight from the jump.
Ojeda, 3-point shooter. She's going to try and spot up, see if she can get a big one.
Look how far Samuels is guarding Ojeda. There's no space for the senior shooter. Clock to 6. Vital wants a screen. Drives inside. Lobs. Mbu with 1. That's not off in time. Better defense there from the Pack.
And you love how they were all helping the helper. That's something that you didn't see when Vital was attacking the basket. Whoever got beat, there was another NC State player there in the paint ready to clog it up. And you saw that right there when Gray tried to go up for that rebound, or for that layup, excuse me.
So out of this media timeout, both teams defensively stepping it up. Lunan earns a foul. And that's on a fellow freshman, Vanessa Harris.
I would imagine Coach Reese would not hate that foul. You're staying aggressive. You're preventing the drive. Be physical. Force the refs to make that call.
And it's not on Silla, who has the 3 fouls, the big post presence. Zoe Brooks active. Lunan back to Brooks. Good block by the Rams. And they've limited Zoe Brooks today. Not many clean lanes. Mbu on this end. Silla wants it 30 feet from the bucket. Mbu on the switch. And a travel turns it over.
Once again, NC State there cut off the driving lanes. That time it was Trieger forcing the turnover. NC State really paying attention to the details right now.
And I would like to see Mbu shoot that three-pointer or that mid-range. We saw that against Holy Cross and Rutgers. She was able to do it. Go ahead and apply that here today.
47% from three. That is a shot she can make.
With good hands, Mbu, almost a steal. Wolfpack a little careless with the ball today on their home court, where they've won 24 straight against unranked opponents. Brooks into her bag. Look at all the standing around, waiting for movement. 6 on the clock. Lunan late is short. Actually, that hit the rim, and it goes to NC State.
Pierre, right place, right time there. She is a huge factor for this NC State team, and it's showing, tying it up.
Reynolds Coliseum rocking in the final minute of this third quarter. Gray attacks Samuels. Tough spin, nice bucket.
That was great physicality there by Gray. You know, she came in, she spun back out. Being able to finish and kind of fading away from the basket, that's also tough D by Samuels.
Zoe Brooks, I mean, every time you watch her drive, it's a walking bucket.
She's got a height advantage right there on Vital. She needs to stay aggressive. I think she can go over her like she did there.
Two-second difference. Vital has the switch. Goes outside. Harris swings it. Good shot fake. Mbu. Harris three. That's off. And that ends the third quarter. 51 to start the fourth. Here's Mbu on the shot fake. Wolfpack switching very well. Gray into Pierre for the block.
Good transition defense there by Rhode Island. Stopped a possible layup.
When the Pack were a Final Four team 2 years ago, they were #1 in the country in transition points, and Lunan shows the speed right there.
And it's good for her to use that screen. You saw he had called the horn set. She came off that left hand strong and finished the lay.
This year, the Pack are led by their balance scoring. All but one player on the court has a point tonight for Westmore. Good handoff to DeBraz. Trying to get post position. Gray with Samuel on her shoulder. Clock to 3. Fades. That's off. And Pierre running the break for the Pack. Gets the position. Pierre swings it. Lunan's three. Big shot for the freshman.
You love to see Lunan step up in these moments, being able to be that next person that comes off the bench, no matter what. As a freshman, that, again, is huge. Great baseline pass here from Pierre, and Lunan there to knock it down to send us here into break.
We'll take the timeout. Wolfpack back in front. Now at 5.
What it says about Kai-Shi, that they run something for her. Well, maybe that isn't even for her, but she makes a play, and then Khamil is under it, but they're looking for her. Yeah. Like what it means, their confidence in her. Okay. Yeah. You know a little something about being a freshman and people on your team realizing, like, okay, you can score. You can, you need a basket.
Scored the last 5 points.
Yeah.
Wolfpack up 5.
Yeah, I mean, and she's 2 for 2 from 3 in this game. So now she's 6 of 11 on the season. Coach said in pregame, he said, you know, everybody knew that she could play defense, but they were maybe a little bit unsure about her shot. He said, we've been very pleased with her shot, how she's shooting it.
Yeah, I like the Kyrie. That's her alter ego. You follow right into that, man. That was good.
Yeah, she was like, is a proud sponsor of NC State Athletics on WKNC. Locations, menus, and other information is available on the Chick-fil-A app online at chickfila.com. Tied at 51 to start the fourth quarter. We've played 1 minute and 16 seconds. And Kaishi Lunin attacked the basket off of a horn set, got a layup, and then next possession down and an open corner three. A personal 5-0 run to give NC State a spark here, forcing a Rhode Island timeout.
Early in this fourth quarter, 5-point swing for the Pack. Both teams very balanced offensively, but down the stretch, some huge shots for Kaishi Luna. And you see here in the second half, Wolfpack finding their offense.
NC State, I feel like it started with passing. They're taking care of the ball, making crisp passes. That last one to Lunin was a great skip pass. And when you can get the ball in the shooting pocket, it's a lot easier to knock it down.
Ty Crutchfield knows a thing or two about that. ACC champion and a three-point arsonist.
Just a little bit.
And yet Rhode Island with a slow start in the fourth, still down just 5. Beautiful backdoor Harris there.
Every time NC State has punched, Rhode Island has punched back. Great call by Coach Reese coming out of the break, the backdoor cut.
Tammy Reese, who was part of an all-time triple overtime game here in this building 20-plus years ago. She knows how to compete at the highest level. Lunin, bad pass. Ooh, it hit Mbu in the face. Little 4v5, and officials will stop it as the contact lens came out.
And looking back at that last bucket there by Rhode Island, they had the zipper cut, the 4-high set. As your defense on NC State side, you can't shade too much up because everyone's in a 4-high set. So you're not able to have anyone that's really there in that secondary defense or the help side to help you out.
Anybody have any extra contact solution we could share on the sideline here?
I got 20/20 vision, baby, man.
No solution needed.
Meanwhile, I got eye drops in my bag, so I'll just run them on over there.
That's a team player.
Right. I don't know. I might need to get my eyes checked.
But to your point, Kai, on that last play, as a defense, you almost have to see what's happening. You got lifted from the basket. You got to maybe anticipate the backdoor cut. Tough job by NC State not being ready.
There's Vital out of the break. Gray in her bag on Pierre. That's a long two, and another response from Rhode Island.
I feel like Pierre has played good defense on Gray on a lot of these possessions, and she is just playing better offense. Tough shot from the top of the key.
Samuels. No easy running room. Pierre's fighting for space. Now Pierre a paint touch. Double team. She saw it. Lunin. How did she stay in bounds? But a turnover. And Gray with numbers behind the back. Rhode Island kicks it. And they'll reset.
Really surprised Mbu's not hunting that three-pointer right there. 47% on the year, 7 for 15.
Clock ticks inside of 10. Harris into Lunin. No good.
Good defense by Lunin, staying straight up, not hacking and drawing the foul.
Very physical fourth quarter. This has a March Madness type of feel to it.
I feel like NC State's got to get it inside again.
Samuels with the mismatch. Brooks drives. Good rebound. And Pierre comes in late. DeBras not afraid to push. Mbu has it to the bucket. Trigger the block. Toda Trigger, her first game back from a face injury, looking good. Pierre down low. Wiggles. Wait, there's a whistle and a travel before the shot. Turnover NC State.
I think both teams just need to settle down right now. In that case, Pierre could have gone with that reverse layup or just keep her dribble. I think the idea that she had was to kind of back her out and then go up strong for that layup. And on the flip side of that, Mbu, again, like you mentioned, Derek, knock down that mid-range, hit that three-pointer. No need to go in there with those trees like Toda Trigger and try to finish that layup.
Right, she took a great shot, turned it into just a good shot that was a lot harder.
Rhode Island with 5 different players at 8 or more points. So much balance for Tammy Reese. Needing a bucket late. Vital has it. A 5-1 Rhode Island team. Lone loss to Rutgers just 2 weeks ago. DeBras with 7. Hits the 3. They call it a 2, but a deep one.
I think it was good for her to use that ball screen there. It looked like she kind of wanted to reverse it. She came back from the corner, saw that the defense kind of went under and knocked it down.
Here's a 6-point Rhode Island swing. Jones barreling in, just lost it. Another 4 Wolfpack turnovers in the quarter. And Vital, electric. Embu's 3. You've been asking for it, guys, and a miss on that one. This crowd wants a foul here in Raleigh.
Physical game. The question is, who's going to step up right now? Who's NC State's go-to shooter?
Last year it was Zamareya Jones, the All-American. This year it's Zoe Brooks, who misses the layup. Stays on this end.
I'd like the idea of Zoe being attacking, but let's get her off of a ball screen so she gets a little bit more space. She's got the height advantage, but right there it was a little bit too much one-on-one.
And Rhode Island's keeping it, NC State's keeping it easy on Rhode Island right now. They're attacking the basket, but they're just able to sink down and help. They're not being as aggressive on that three-point arc.
Valentina Ojeda just subbed in for Rhode Island. Zam Jones, air ball. Jones could not miss in the first half. She struggled here in the fourth.
Not a bad shot, really. She had her feet set, just a miss. They're going to have to get it back on defense.
Gray now fires. Just strong. Ojeda, the O board, and a fresh 20. After NC State's quick 5-point swing to start the quarter, it's all Rhode Island since. DeBraz with 8. Finds Embu. Fakes the 3. Embu spins. Good bucket.
Really great move right there by Embu. The drive, the spin, stayed under control, didn't force it, was able to shoot a step back.
Trieger on this end. Kicks it. Cox swings. Jones 3. Air ball again.
And you like the look and you like the idea.
Out of bounds off Rhode Island.
And it was good that Zam, she did just shoot 2 air balls, but she stayed in the play and caused the turnover from Rhode Island.
So if you're NC State, where do you find a bucket here?
I think I've got to go to Zoe Brooks. I want to see maybe that horn set go off a ball screen. I think Coach Moore right now, he's going to use one of those timeouts. He knows how important this next possession is. He wants to make sure he gets the shot he wants.
3-point game, and we'll take a 30-second timeout. Don't go anywhere here in Raleigh. Tight one on ACC Network Extra.
Got to run the offense. I think, again, you try to get the ball inside to Khamil or Pierre. An 8-0 run for Rhode Island. Khamil or Trieger, I'm sorry. I said Khamil or Pierre. Khamil or Trieger. She said, I'm option A and option B. But Ernie, after...
College basketball, Rhode Island is on the verge of something special. Go back 2 years, their last ranked win over a very good Princeton program. 1 loss for the Rams this year. That was at Rutgers, tight game late. What can Rhode Island do to close this one out?
I think the biggest thing, taking care of the ball. I know Coach Reese talked about one of her biggest concerns in this game was NC State's transition offense. When Rhode Island's back and set on defense, NC State has struggled. But if Rhode Island makes some turnovers, NC State gets it going, that's where she has the biggest concern. So for Rhode Island, it's taking care of the ball, making sure you get a good shot up, and making sure the floor is balanced, so that if you do miss, you're back and preventing transition.
This is an 8-0 run for the Rams over the last 4 minutes. The Wolfpack have had turnover woes in the fourth quarter. And an NC State program that they've dominated unranked opponents the last 5 years, but this gets very tight here late.
Westmore does a great job of out-of-timeout plays. Let's see what he's drawn up.
DeBraz activity. And you see Brooks even coaching up Samuels. Hey, throw it farther away. Like, even that communication is going on right now.
And that's just the little things that you have to tweak and make sure you get out of your system when it comes conference play.
Final 4 minutes here in Raleigh. Entertaining A-10 ACC battle. Trieger fakes it. Trieger all gas and count it.
I love the energy that Tilda has continued to bring. She sat out last game because of injury, but now she's come in and she's making her presence known. Now, you get the drive here, shot fake. They know she can shoot the 3, and she goes up and finishes strong.
That's an aggressive play from a freshman who wouldn't have taken those shots in year one. Here she is signing in year two.
Well, I love, instead of forcing the three, she drew the defense and drove hard and finished through contact. That's a big shot and a chance to tie it here for the Pack.
Only the 5th free throw of the game for the Pack. And here you are, 59 apiece.
So Westmore with a great play out of the timeout. Let's see what Coach Reese responds with.
Reynolds Coliseum is awake. Embu challenges Cox. Silla back in the game. A lot of contact. Neat look. Vital backs it out with 8. Vital, the freshman, inside. Silla with 3. No good.
And there's nothing like it being a tied game in the 4th quarter and playing solid defense for 30 seconds.
That was a clean look for Rhode Island, too. That's a point-blank miss. On this end, Brooks draws 3. Has Samuels wide open. Off. Defensive board, Vital. Rhode Island pushing. Vital gets space. Embu drives. Embu to the bucket. Samuels tipped it.
Easiest shot she's had all day. Maybe let the pressure get to her right there. That was a layup Rhode Island needs.
God, you played in these games. How do you handle big moments?
Just breathe, honestly. That's the best thing. Breathe. You know that you've been doing this and practicing since the summer, and you have to put it all on the play today.
It's Brooks' turn. Out to Jones. She's ready for the moment. Timeout, Rhode Island.
Huge play for the Pack. What I love most is that Jones has missed threes, a couple of air balls, but she stayed confident, she stayed ready, and when her moment came, she hit the huge shot. Brooks with the drive, the kick, her hands were ready, her feet were ready. Big time shot for the Pack.
So it's 17 points, but Jones, she's been the aggressive scorer today.
And with that, it's hard to get off on the second half. It's hard to go from the first half, sit out a little bit through the 3rd quarter. You shoot, like you said, a couple air balls, but then having that energy, having that emotional,
having that dog-like face. Look
yeah, like come on, man. She said that she's a dog, and she's showing it here. I love how last year those shots, those air balls might have deterred her from her game, but she shot them, she missed them, and then she came back and hit a big 3 for NC State here.
And I'll say this, for all the fans out there that haven't gotten a chance to watch a women's basketball game in Reynolds Coliseum, it is electric. It is a destination place. An exciting day for women's basketball right here.
Embu feeds the freshman Harris. Harris gets in, and a foul this time. Free throws for Rhode Island.
You know what I love about that matchup? It's Samuels and Harris. They went to the same high school. They probably have battled since they were little. Right here, Harris, even though she's 2 years younger, got the drive, drew the defense, got the foul. She's going to go to the line for 2 shots.
Caden Samuels, the defensive stopper for the Pack against the most talented freshman recruit in Rhode Island history. 2-point game. Is Harris ready for this moment, too? Because Rhode Island last 2 possessions, they're point-blank misses. This time, you earn points.
It's good for them to come in, get these free throws, and just settle down. Everyone can get their feet back up under them.
Now for NC State, you got to handle the pressure, but I think it's got to be Brooks trying to make a play.
DeBraz comes in late on Brooks. Cox inside. Maddie 1v1. A foul and free throws for NC State.
And I love how patient Maddie Cox was right there. She felt her on her hip, tried to figure out which way she wanted to go, saw that she was leaning more toward that help side at the top of the paint, and sprung back to her right side.
I also love Maddie Cox. It's her 3rd year in the program, not a lot of minutes her first 2 years. One of her inspirations was Isaiah James, who had a similar career path. First 2 years didn't get a lot of minutes, but now she's ready for her moment, and that was huge.
Westmore noted Wednesday was a coming out party for Maddie. They needed her big time. Had double figures, misses the free throw there. Now this has been an area of struggle for the Pack. Late in games, making their free throws. It leaves the door open in a 2-point game.
Now
and Khamil Pierre comes back in.
Subbing in Pierre for Cox. Defense, rebounding right here. You don't want to give up an extra offensive rebound to Rhode Island. You want to play defense, secure the rebound.
Closing 2 minutes here in Raleigh. Harris, she fires. Harris for three.
And I think it's just crazy how she pulls that out of her bag whenever she wants to. She could have got that the last 3 quarters, but she's shooting it here big in the 4th.
Biggest game of the freshman's life. She's got 15, and Rhode Island's back in front. Zam Jones' turn. Pierre the screen. Good pass that's tipped. Out to Jones. Clock to 6. Jones off. And look at DeBras coming out with it. Vital now. Vital has numbers. Kick out.
Rhode Island staying patient here with the 1-point lead. I think Coach Reese is looking for penetration here by Vital.
12 seconds for Mbu. Goes back to Harris. So big in this 4th quarter. Harris crossover. Spins. Harris swings it. Mbu with 3. Mbu hits that one.
Huge shot by Mbu. Huge shot.
5 straight points for Rhode Island. And a timeout, Wes Moore. This game of swings and runs, and it's the unranked Rhode Island Rams. They're bringing the punch in the 4th.
What I've been impressed with is how they have stayed so confident. They haven't let the moment get bigger. They missed one easy shot about 3 minutes ago, but Harris, Mbu, they've all been aggressive, hit some big shots. They've got a 3-point lead, and looking on the other side, now you got NC State, you're down 3. You don't need a 3 with 53 seconds left. You want to get the best shot you can, but the question is, you want to go into Pierre and maybe get an inside out, or do you want Brooks to drive and see what she can come up with? I like the idea of driving, trying to draw a foul.
And if you're Rhode Island, it's 4 in double figures. We noted the missed layups recently, but a team that does not look scared of the moment against the top 16 opponent.
And you can think of it like this. The toughness and grit that Coach Reese was talking about on the call, that's exactly what Rhode Island is showing right now. And looking at the clock, getting your guys' opinion on this, would you go for a 2-for-1? Like you said, quick, easy shot, first shot, that's the best option, but you could have an opportunity to get the ball back.
So Zam Jones has it here. Wolfpack going quick with Brooks. Out to Trieger. This becomes a long possession. Brooks with 11. DeBras good defense. And a timeout. Wes Moore, he didn't like the look of that play. And there's still 10 on the clock. So the 2-for-1 almost goes out the window here.
Right.
And right there, NC State ran a play where they were getting Brooks off of a double screen in the corner. It wasn't open. Then she tried to drive. She looked a little bit unsure of what to do. So Wes Moore, he had extra timeouts. He knows this is almost a must-score possession. You want to score, you're probably going to have to foul now at this point.
And this goes back to last year. Isaiah James and Rivers, they were all Americans. They could get the ball late and create. This team doesn't necessarily have that unit, so it becomes tougher in these moments.
Someone just has to step up. I mean, we've seen some good plays from Jones. We've seen some good plays from Zoe, but we have to find that inconsistency. So I'm going with the best option here.
10 on the clock for the Pack out of the timeout. Brooks almost falls out of bounds. And a tip drill.
They were looking for Quigley on a possible 3 there. I think NC State caught a break with the tip out of bounds because it's a little helter-skelter.
Wolfpack had a 5-point lead late in the 4th. Rhode Island's come storming back. Brooks was 7 on an island. Brooks loses it. DeBras the turnover. And now Vital breaks the press, and she's fouled. Not in the bonus yet. Has to be 3 more fouls before free throws.
So NC State, as you said, 3 fouls, so they can be ultra aggressive, try and get the steal here. It's hard for a team knowing that you're going to get fouled to get the ball in cleanly. So NC State, take advantage of these fouls to give, if you will, and try and get the big steal.
So it's not just fouling, it's strategically using the 3 fouls.
Right.
So Rhode Island basketball. Gray has to get it in. Ojeda to the floor. Loose scrum. Tackled. Who's got it?
Jump ball going to NC State.
Wait, no, it's Rhode Island ball.
We
a
have
kick ball on the Wolfpack.
Wow.
And this crowd not pleased. So let's take a look. Was this a jump ball or a kick?
Huge call right here. Quickly there, get the first touch.
So Zoe Brooks wrapping her arms around Ojeda's feet is considered the violation.
Well, Trieger got her hands in there, but Brooks had her feet. Still 2 fouls to give. NC State's got to be quick.
Mbu is doubled. She gets poked in the face. And a jump ball's the call.
And there is the jump ball.
So it's NC State basketball.
And
now, Rhode Island had a timeout as well.
Right, and either whether it was a timeout, she did get poked. So I think NC State might have gotten away with the foul right there, too.
Very, very aggressive, and that is the advantage of knowing you have fouls to give. You don't care if you commit a foul. Taking a look, Mbu really trapped by the...
Oh, yeah, she got hit in the face.
She did get hit in the face.
And another little tedious thing, as a more experienced player, she caught that ball right at the half-court line. If I'm her, I want to either catch it behind the half-court line so I have enough space to operate, or I want to catch it a little closer up so if I do get trapped, I don't step back and it's a violation.
So NC State right there, we thought maybe there could be a review, but it was only it was a poke in the face. It's not an elbow, so that's not really reviewable. But NC State will have the ball now. 18 seconds left. I still think I want to look for a quick 2 here if I can. I want to get it to Brooks. I want her to drive. Rhode Island does not want to foul, so they're going to open up the lane. You probably get that quick layup and force them to make free throws. But if you do get Rhode Island to collapse, that's when you kick it out to Jones or Trieger. Both of them ready to hit the tying 3.
Jones had a huge 3 earlier in this quarter that gave the Wolfpack the 5-point lead. But ever since that shot, it's all Rhode Island if they can hang on to the basketball. Costly jump ball turnover.
Kai, I know you probably know Coach Moore's plays backwards forwards. You see a lot of times where he'll try and double screen to the corner. Shakia Brown-Turner hit a huge 3 against Connecticut a few years ago on that same play.
Rhode Island 18 seconds from a gigantic upset win. And here's Zam Jones with the ball. Brooks. Clock ticking quickly. Still moving. DeBras is active off Zoe Brooks. Turnover. This Rhode Island defense is locked in.
Right now, Coach Moore is deciding whether to challenge. I believe he is going to challenge.
Well, he's asking for it, but this is clearly off Brooks.
Yeah, we had a great vantage point right in front of it. I think it's right off of Zoe's.
Oh, I don't know.
You do see DeBras' hand in there.
Know. So now you have to look at it again and see the rotation of the ball if DeBras hit it.
It is worth an appeal by NC State.
Well, now the lead officials explaining to Westmore.
It could cost them their last timeout if it's unsuccessful. Huge, huge call.
Oh, NC State had 0 timeouts, so they can't challenge. You have to have a timeout to initiate.
Wow.
But NC State had already burned that timeout, and you see why Westmore is so holds on to those.
He's an
timeouts.
Eagle Scout when it comes to keeping his timeouts.
So now you're looking, here's our situation, 12 seconds left. NC State still only at 2 fouls, so they've got to foul 3 times just to get Rhode Island to the line.
So just for argument's sake, let's look at this. Remember, the Wolfpack cannot challenge this.
So right now, I think DeBras knocked it out of Zoe's hand.
You absolutely see her tip it right there. And the question was, did Zoe hit it a second time?
And remember, without the timeout, the Wolfpack cannot initiate the appeal, which means it's Rhode Island ball here with 12 seconds left.
So Rhode Island advanced the ball as the right after the timeout.
Rhode Island was in this spot 2 years ago, and Isaiah James went off in the 4th. Now it's the Rams with possession. And a whistle. Our lead officials explaining to Coach Moore he needed a timeout to appeal this. That's what Teresa Stuck is talking about.
I believe Rhode Island used their last timeout to advance the ball, and Westmore didn't know that they had one.
Yeah, both teams now out of timeouts. There's a lot going on in this final 10 seconds. Mbu into the backcourt. So that's foul 3. 2 more fouls to commit.
Great job there by Mbu, knowing you don't have to worry about 10 seconds because you're just trying to run off as much time as possible.
And if I'm NC State, I almost just might switch everything because we're trying to foul. So whoever's the closest person to you, you need to make contact immediately.
It's in the captain Brooklyn Gray's arms. Here's Harris, clock ticking. Now Trieger fouls. That's Tilda's second, 1 away from the bonus.
And that's an awareness thing by Trieger. She normally would guard the basket, but she's got to get out there and foul right away. We're down to 7.8 seconds, and now the next foul will be shots. So now NC State uses some strategy.
Who do they want with the ball, though, if you're Rhode Island?
I got to believe DeBras and Vital, the guards, are the ones that are ready for the moment, the point guards.
Okay, 7 seconds left. Got to get this in. No timeouts. Into the backcourt. Smart from DeBras. And the foul with 6 seconds.
You've got a 3-time captain, a senior. DeBras was here 2 years ago when they let one slip away. You know she's been thinking about this moment for a couple years. Now it's a question of whether she knocks it down.
And with no timeouts, this becomes a live ball.
Yeah, and you can't advance it.
So you make and miss one then. Does that become an equation?
Maybe, but I think I would take 2. I would make them both if I can, because NC State's still going to need 2
possessions to be able to.
Inez DeBras from the line. Big first free throw, 2-score game.
So now the strategy, you get it as fast as you can. You got to go get a layup and then hope to steal on the inbounds pass.
The senior captain, Inez DeBras, in the heart of Raleigh, on the verge of a top 25 upset. Hits them both, 5-point game, and Maddie Cox comes in.
So you want to throw the ball as far down the court as you can. You want to score with.
And if you're Rhode Island, you can foul because you have the bonus.
And some fouls to give.
Jones up the court, clock ticking. Wolfpack running out of time. And that's no good. Rhode Island comes into Raleigh, and their first ranked win in 2 years. What a performance from Tammy Reese's unit, upsetting the top 25 pack.
You see